Hey there, folks. I bet you didn't expect to see the old 8N again so soon. And I didn't expect to make a video again so soon, but here we are. So this next video, I want to kind of go over real quick something that you may encounter. It's a problem that I kind of brought on myself, but it was because of the troubleshooting. So, if you'll recall, we did the carb rebuild and we did the electronic ignition installation, all in an attempt to get this thing running right. We found out that my distributor cable, distributor cable, good lord, my spark plug cable to the number 3 cylinder was just completely destroyed. And that might have been the original problem all along. The carb was clean when I took it apart, and that's probably why I was having running problems or ignition problems. I'm about to sneeze. Oh, yep. Okay, sorry. Anyway, so while I was troubleshooting that, I remember at some point I thought maybe I'm not getting enough fuel. So I started dinking around with the old sediment bowl. If you want to see it up close, this is a repop. And I've never read the words on the knob before. You probably haven't either if you're watching this video. But what it says is main 2 turns, reserve full open. Okay, well, whenever I was troubleshooting the fuel issue, the fire issue, I remember one time I thought maybe I'm not getting enough fuel flow. So I ripped her all the way open, thinking all the way open is going to allow more fuel to flow. And maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm not sure how the internals of this work, but what I ended up doing was pulling all of the junk off of the bottom of the tank. So let me go back just a little bit. So I put the new ignition on, and it starts fantastically. It almost starts before I push the button to start it, and when I push it, that thing just starts purring, and it would run great for a few seconds and it would die. So I felt confident that the fire was there. I just didn't think the fuel was there. So I went to the carburetor and I pulled the drain plug off of the bottom, or I pulled the bolt out of the bowl, and I noticed it would come out for a minute, about 10 seconds, and it would quit. And if I put the bolt back in and then waited about an hour and came back to it and take the bolt out, it would drain for about 10 seconds and then it would quit. So that told me I had a flow issue. So I thought maybe I have a blockage. Well, I went on the tractor forums and did some kind of cursory research, and I heard an old timer say, don't go to full reserve. If you do, you'll pull all the junk off the bottom of this 70-year-old tank straight into your sediment bowl and plug it up. And I thought, reserve tank? What's reserve tank? Well, sure enough, when I opened it all the way, I pulled a bunch of junk and snot that had been sitting on the bottom of the tank into the sediment bowl, and I already cleaned it. But basically what happens is, you can kind of see that in the 12 o'clock position there, not this tube, but past it, kind of in the behind it. That was completely blocked on this stock sediment bowl. And I decided I'm going to go ahead and drain the tank, clean the sediment bowl, reinstall it, and see if that fixes it. And sure enough, that was the problem. And when I drained this tank, oh my God, you would not believe how nasty that was. I wish I had taken a picture of it. It looked like pond water, and not the pond water you want to swim in. And it's really surprising to me because I've been putting fresh fuel in this thing for 2 years. 2 years. and there was still enough nasty stuff in there to look that gross. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to pull this old one off. I'm gonna show you the other filters to check if you think you're having fuel flow problems, and then we're gonna put the new one on and we're gonna get back to work. So this is a really simple install. This is more of a kind of just a FYI. If you think you're having fuel flow problems, you really need to check this, and then I will show you the other two filters in the line to check. So first thing you want to do is have a bucket and a funnel to catch any gasoline. Now please be careful. This, if you don't have a plastic funnel, I got this one for free with my new boat. If you have a metal funnel, disconnect your battery cables, because when I was doing this the first time, I was using my metal funnel, and right before I got the sediment bowl all the way off, I was holding my metal funnel up here, and I shorted out on across the hot leg on the alternator. Jesus Christ, this is a starter. I shorted out on me starter and grounded on the block, and so we had some sparks, and it could have been a fire hazard. So either disconnect your battery, use a plastic funnel, or let it spill all over the ground. It's your house, do whatever you want. So I'm gonna get my bucket ready. So disconnect the fuel line first. So here's your fuel line. It goes back over to the carburetor. I'm gonna bring it closer. Okay, so bust off your fuel line. And like I said, this probably doesn't even need to be fixed now. And honestly, this original part is probably higher quality than the replacement. But I'll keep this one. We'll give the replacement one a try. Worst case scenario, I've got to take this off a couple times and I get this system flushed out a little bit better. You may be asking yourself, why don't you clean the fuel tank? My follow-up question to you would be, have you ever cleaned a gas tank before? It's terrible. It is the worst. It's not the worst, but it sucks really bad. I would rather take this thing off 10 times, wasting gasoline, and just literally using the sediment bowl to filter out all the junk, than to clean this gas tank. And it's not because I'm lazy, it's just because it's a sucky process. Okay, so that's off. Now we'll bust this loose. Wrong way, dummy. Someone didn't put that on there very tight. Alright, this is where we're about to make a mess. So we'll catch as much as we can. But we're not gonna worry about it a whole lot. So the gas is clear. The junk, can you see that? There's some junk down there, but that was already in the bucket. The fuel is clear. What I pulled out of here before was murkier. It was just gross, okay? But check this out. Can you see this? This is my original bowl. Look, I did not do that that is just how I pulled it out. That is a piece of glass. I don't even know what. So I have to be fair. When I reinstalled this, I forgot to put this that strainer sleeve back on. You know what I'm talking about? Where'd my new one go? Oh my. Oh. So it had one of these strainer sleeves on it, but I forgot to put it back, and I thought, no big deal, I'm gonna take it off anyway. Dude, what is in there? Where's my toothpick? Are those rocks? Dude, that thing is so packed off already. And it was running good. It was hitting a couple rough spots where it would bog a little bit. And I thought maybe there was still some bad gas in there. But that thing is still just chock full of junk. Dude. For thoroughness, I want to show you what else to check. So this little 90-degree brass fitting, that's also a filter. Basically, it's got threads on it. It goes into the top of the carburetor here, but it's got a screen on it as well. And the bolt that we were removing to test for flow is well, oh, come on, right there on the bottom of the carb. So if you're having issues where you question, ooh, I need to fix that. Look at that bad boy coming loose. Okay, this perspective is helpful. So if you have your fuel valve turned to open and you open this and you're not getting any fuel, it could be part of the problem. So the easiest thing to do is to open that up and see if you've got any fuel coming. And if you don't, then I would check the sediment bowl next. So I mentioned 3 screens or filters. Good night. This fuel is filthy. I'm gonna have to take that other screen off. So you can see, perhaps you can't, I just cleaned this bowl out and there's dirt in it. Not good. God dog it. So the other screen is this little fine kind of mesh cover that goes over your sediment bowl between the lid and the bowl, and there's a gasket and you kind of squeeze them together. And so that's your first, well, I guess it's technically the second filter. The first filter or screen is one on top, then you've got this one, then there's the 90-degree elbow on the top of the carburetor. I'm gonna bust that one off just because I'm worried about how much junk got through here. How is that? Jeez. I joked about not cleaning the fuel tank, and maybe I will. I don't know. God, that thing is disgusting. All right, we're gonna put the stock sediment bowl back, or sorry, the new one on. Pretty easy. Now you don't, well, I'm not gonna tell you don't have to use tape. I recommend tape. This stuff, this PTFE, is not designed for like gasoline applications. They make a special kind of tape that is better, and I thought I had it. You be the judge. So I'm going to use this because it's better than nothing, and since, like I said, I will probably be taking this off 12 or 11 times, I'm not going to sweat it. So this one already has the screen, the little mesh hat on. Or, you know, this one's got the initial little cylindrical filter, it's like glued to it. That's not how it was on the original one. And then it's also already got the sediment bowl screen on it. Here we go. Now we'll just get this old girl turned around. About face. Come on. Am I gonna get another full rotation? Can you see? Sorry. What in the dickens? This one's different. God, dog it. It's got a plug on it in the wrong spot. God. Why aren't these all the same? So I guess, depending on your setup, you can run the fuel valve facing out or in, I guess. And there's a plug that lets you pull from one side to the other. So I guess we're just gonna turn her 90 degrees so we get this fuel line threaded in. Maybe. So we're gonna go ahead and check this just in case. Wasn't planning on it, but since we're here, I already got fuel on my hands, and I know you're dying to see what's in this thing. I'm usually a large supporter of using the right tool for the job, so if this is painful for you to watch, know that it's painful for me too. Nope. Nope. Come on. There's just not enough space. Okay. So here's the focus. So that looks like. And she's got a little junk in there. Focus, I said. See right there at the tip, it's got some buildup. These aren't super serviceable, so what I'm going to do, like this screen's attached, so I'm gonna spray some carb cleaner up here and just soak it, make it all come out the bottom. Then we'll put her back in. I changed my mind. I just put that in the old whistleblower and out popped this old cotton ball. Just wow. Moral of the story is that little screen is important. I think that was keeping, well, it makes sense. It was keeping all the trash out. Yikes. And I forgot to put it in at first. I did a test run, came back, and then I couldn't find it. So I really just lost it. And I thought, well, it won't be that big a deal. It is a big deal. Make sure you've got that little strainer on there. So I'm sitting here fueling this thing up, and I'm looking at this glass that I just pulled out of the sediment bowl, and I'm sitting here wondering, asking myself, what kind of hillbilly drama had to go on to get a piece of glass in your gas tank? Like, really? Old Jasper's filling up the tractor and the old ball and chain throws an empty liquor bottle at him. Some of the shards fall in the fuel tank. I don't know. But it seems weird. Okay. We got fuel. 2 turns. Test for leaks. I know sometimes these can get airlocked. There we go. All right. Good clean gasoline. I was way too open there. Okay, I guess I need to let it fill a little bit more. I should read the manual. Okay, we're overflowing. I suppose I could open the bottom of the carburetor bowl and let it feed through the system that way, but when I start turning the motor over, it should start to pull. May take a few cranks since that carburetor's empty. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching.